Hi everyone, welcome to the project arrangement session. Look, this is a major milestone you've reached in your journey with Industry Connect. You've finished the first 6 weeks of the program. Now I just want to check in with you and where you've got up to so far in the program. Now you remember when we talked last time, the first 6 weeks was all about building a foundation of skills, a platform to get you started really. So what we've done is, the objective hasn't been to teach you everything about all the topics you've been learning. It's really about getting you to the level so that we can start to give you tasks now through an internship process. So you're through that first 6 weeks, you're about to start the internship process. Now, the internship process is really important because it consolidates and builds your skills to a level where you can be immediately productive for an employer. And that's really where you need to be to get through the interview process and the technical testing process they will put you through, and to be able to demonstrate to an employer that you can be immediately productive for them. So the internship process that we've put together is very structured and been very refined so that you're able to get a lot of experience in a very short period of time. So what we're going to do this evening, or in the session, I'm going to hand over to the MVP Studio team, and they're going to run you through the process here at MVP Studio, how you'll get on board and how your skill level gets increased through the process. I look forward to seeing you as you go through the process. I'm going to hand over to Ray Liu now, who runs MVP Studio, and he's going to take you right through that process.
Hello everyone, welcome to MVP Studio. My name is Ray Liu. I'm the founder and the director at MVP Studio. Today I want to give you an introduction of what we do, what customer we help, what kind of projects we have, what are the process of constructing an MVP project. And also we'll give some ideas about our industry partners, venture capitals, and the projects that we have launched to the market. So firstly, let me start with our objectives. What we do at MVP Studio. MVP Studio explains itself. MVP stands for Minimum Viable Product. So what I mean is, it's not a complete product because an entire solution has to be completed with a very big amount of investment in the software industry. So what we do here, we focus on creating a demo product, a more mature version of demo product, so that user can find the value, can use it. So we call it MVP. So why MVP? Because as I said earlier on, it's very expensive to construct the full version of software before launch to the market. That requires the labor cost of development. We have to get an investment to do the marketing and the testing with the different user groups. So MVP comes in play to solve the problem of all the issues. So let me give you an example. When we create a property management app, instead we go in there, do a waterfall process, creating the full spec of the property market app. What we do is we find one or two core features of the solution, and then we build it in the app and ask a few user group, size between 20 to 50, to use it and give feedback. And then we use the feedback to determine where we go next and how we invest for the future product. And then usually when you build that MVP successfully, have really positive feedback, that's the time that you can approach investors or to find a funding source. But at the time you are more certain and the product go places, rather than at the beginning and predetermine everything. So that's the beauty of MVP. That's why we helped so many startup companies creating projects. So one of the first project we created, help go to market, is called AMI Plus. AMI Plus is a cloud-based SaaS software solution for childcare centers, after-school care centers, classes, tuitions, and camps. It was created 3 years ago under MVP Studio. Now it has over $100 million transactions in the system. And every month it processes 70,000 bookings and creating 70 to 80,000 invoices in New Zealand. The customer base in New Zealand, Australia, Canada, UK, and Ireland, South Africa. So that's a great success story from MVP Studio. And now we're running 5 to 6 different projects like AMI Plus. because we want to copy the same process and success plan that Amy Plus used and help other projects to go to market and become a viable product for the market. MP Studio not only a powerhouse creating MVP projects here, but also we have a lot of industry partners. We work with Ice Angel, we work with 10 Fund and other VC companies in America because we have so many great projects running here. If we validate the product, we will connect that with the investors. The venture capital investors, their business is to identify early stage product and inject capital there to help MVP projects going to market. Here, not only we build a product, but also we help startup business entrepreneurs go to market. At the MP Studio, we not only have reusable source code, but we have a lot of reusable plans and processes. For instance, people wonder what's the insurance like to run a startup company? What's the legal requirement to explore a new territory? What is the marketing strategy and the social media technical marketing side of things? We have all that here. We learned from early stage of projects like Amy Plus. So in here, we have knowledge and a process for all stages of early startup projects. That's why we can help entrepreneurs save the time, not by working by reinventing the wheel, but focusing on paths that they really add value to their products. MP Studio have a very good relationship with the Industry Connect. We love the Job Ready program trained at the Industry Connect. Doesn't matter, it's the software Job Ready program, it's the testing Job Ready program, it's the BI data analysis program, or the recent blockchain program. All the skills taught in the training sessions are useful to our projects, to our clients and entrepreneurs. We have various projects, we use different part of technology. Again, I would like to personally congratulate you for completing the Job Ready program and welcome to the world of commercial software development. At MP Studio, there will be commercial practices and a process you need to follow. So we'll give you a handbook for internship at MP Studio in the coming days. Please make sure you follow the instruction written on the MP Studio software development internship handbook, because in there we have the strict process you need to follow to get yourself on board, stand out from a crowd, become team leader, and then working on commercial tasks and work with our senior mentors and the senior teams. So I would like to invite you to be the internship and then choose the projects in the coming days. And that's what I got to say. I'm looking forward to meeting all of you individually and then creating future connections. All the best.
Hello everyone, my name is Justin Pham. I'm a software development manager at MVP Studio. So what I'm going to show you today is all the projects is available at MVP Studio. You may find some of the project is available for internship, some of the project is not available. So after you got this video, you will receive the project arrangement link. So inside the link, depends on your programs, depends on the projects that you selected, and depends on the internship type. So there is some of the project is available for you to select. But it's good that I'm going to show you all the project is available, including why we're building it and what is the technologies behind the scenes and some of the screenshots of the projects. Alright, so now let's start from the project keys. So the project keys is the property investment platform so that we build for the group of property investor in Auckland. So it's basically, this is like portfolio management for the property investors. So that is, if they're using the platform, they can be able to manage the tenant and also they can track all the rental payments of the tenant. So instead of they need to use the Google Sheet to manage all the portfolios and they need to use the whole communication skills of tenants gonna be more easier, okay? And if so, for the property investor, one of the things that they're trying to avoid is let their property is vacant for a long period of time because that is the loss for them. Okay, so at the property community, we providing the platform that for people they can list or they can publish their rental into the marketplace. So that is everyone's, they can, if you need any rental property or if they got the rental property for to list, so they got the marketplace for them. Okay. So another thing for the property investor is they're trying to avoid like the tenants keep calling them in the midnight or if they got any issues with the property. So the more easiest way is if the tenants they got any problem with their property, they just basically send a request to the property investor. If the request to fix something accepted, so that request would be either can be fixed by property investor or they can list into the service provider marketplace. So that is any service provider such as plumber, electricians, or painter. So that's they will come and fix it, and then they will give the quote for the property investor. So the whole process is gonna be more easier and more nicer. Okay. So let me show you what is the technologies behind the scenes for the properties community. So in terms of technologies, so at MVP Studio, all the technologies that we're using is all the cutting edge technology. And that's pretty much similar into all the technologies that you learn from the 6-week training as Industry Connect. So when you transit into MVP Studio to do the internship, you would probably get familiar with with all of this technology. So let's start with the backend for the software developer. So all the backends that we use are Microsoft technologies such as C#, .NET, MVC. For the database, we use SQL Server, and then we use an entity frameworks as the object relational mapping framework. We're also building some Windows services to process some of the background service. Now moving to the front end. So we're using, of course, HTML, CSS, JavaScript as a slide must have. And in terms of the UI framework, we're using Bootstrap and Semantics UI is all combined together. And then for the single page data binding, we're using Knockout.js. So it's really lightweight data binding JavaScript framework that's really easy to learn. On the business intelligence that we're using all the SQL Server, SSIS to build a report, and also we're using a Power BI as well. So if you are the BI developer, this is really good projects that for you to gain some experience with the property market in New Zealand and also in Australia. So there's a lot of complicated data from the property median price, from the property rental median, up into like the local public transport and local school. So that will help the property investor to make the better decisions when they start thinking about putting money into any particular property. In terms of the quality assurance that we're using, again, it's like the whole technologies, for QA that you probably already learned from Industry Connect. So we're using Selenium WebDriver, we use SpecFlow, Apnium's manual test artifacts, and then also for the API testing as well. So now let's look at some of the screenshots. So this is our home page. So now if you go into property.community, probably you're gonna see our home page. So is at the moment it's on the piloting, so it's for the internal user. So it's not available on the public yet. So this is how we log in into the systems. And this is the property owner dashboard that they can have some quick actions that they can do. They can assess all the properties. They can see all the tenants and the finance details for for all the property. And then they can see everything like the whole portfolio at the clients. They will see how many rental applications that they apply for their rental, and also all the tenant requests and also the job quotes from the service provider. This is the basics of the property analysis, that how the property investor they use Keys projects to manage the whole investment portfolio, that they can see the purchase price, they can see the home values and how much the capital gains that they probably going to receive, annually or on a suburb wise, and annually or 5 years or 10 years. All right. Okay, so that is finished for the project Keys. Now we move into another project we call Project Mars. So the Project Mars is the skills exchange platforms that where everyone they can trade your skills to learn a new skills. So we believe that everyone should know some particular skills that someone they would like to learn. For example, that you know some of like the special recipes to cook any good dishes, or you learn how to play guitar, or you learn how to create a website. Okay, and someone else that they need to learn your skills and they got the skills that you're willing to learn. So this is the marketplace that for people to chase the skills. So the whole thing is we're trying to help the people to more easily explore the new culture when it comes into a new country. So if you can imagine that if you want to learn English from a local and the local they want to learn some skills that from your from your country, so this is the good marketplace for them to do that. So we're using the blockchain based at the credit and rating systems that when we put all the informations about the credit systems and the rating system into the blockchain, so that's become immutable, and nobody can change it. Okay. All the technologies behind Mars project is a little bit different with the project keys. So all the backends that we use in C#, .NET Core, MVC. So instead of we using SQL Server, we're using NoSQL. And then, all the APIs and we put into microservices. This is like microservices architecture. And then we're using Link Entity Frameworks and Windows services. And then, we also using some AWS cloud services as well. All the front end that we using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then on the UI theme or the UI framework, we're using the Semantics UI. And then, for the single page handlings, on the JavaScript side, we're using React.js to handle all the user, interaction with the server. And we also, for the JavaScript, we're using the latest JavaScript standard, which is EX6. And then we use Webpack to bundling all the the multiple JavaScript file into one single bundle. There's another things that we're using for the Project Mars is we're using the continuous deployment. By utilizing Docker engines and also Kubernetes, or you can call KAS, one of the orchestration technologies for container services. We'll talk about on the QA. So on the QA part from Mars projects that we're using Selenium's WebDriver, SpecFlow, Apniums is pretty much similar into the Keys project. Okay. Unfortunately, like the BI developer or the BI or data analyst is not available for this project. Okay, so here is some of the screenshot of the Mars projects. So this is our homepage that the people they can search for any skills that they want to learn. This is like profile page that how the people they can manage their profile. And here is the service listings. If you have the multiple services, there's the page for you to manage. Here's an example of the service detail so that you can have you can send a request or you can have the instant messaging tools that you can contact directly with the user. That's all for the Project Mars. So now let's move into another project we call Project Talent. So the Project Talent is we call innovative talent pipeline, that how we can connect the talent into employers by providing the 360 degrees views of talent. So instead of they see the boring CV of talent, they can see more interaction with the talents by watching their self-introduction videos. And then they will discover that they can be interested into any particular talent, and then it can be review their contacts. And then also the employer, they can send all the technical assessments, they can send all the behavior interview questions to the talent. So this will help the whole recruitment process is more easier. We use an artificial intelligence talent matching algorithm, so that's we're trying to connect talent to the employer more accurately by utilizing AI. So all the technologies that behind talent is quite similar to Mars. There's all the backends that we use in C#, .NET Core, MVC, NoSQL, microservices, Windows services, and AWS as well. So all the front end we use in React.js, Semantics UI, we use in JavaScript, EX6 standard, and then we also using Webpack. So on the talent project, we also using Redux as the state management for the React.js. So apart from that is we got the continuous deployment technology integrated by utilizing Docker and also KAS. In terms of the QAs, we're using Selenium WebDriver, Apnium's manual text artifacts, and also you can start using Docker for the QA as well. So that is how you can, like, with the QA or test analyst, you can experiment some of like the CI and CD pipeline. You see how the role of the tester gonna use for the inside the CI CD. So that is for the Project Talent. Alright, so here is some of the screenshots from Project Talent. Okay, so this is basically the home page. That's how, when the first time people they log into the applications, this is what they see. So this is an example of the talent matchings that using by a recruiter. Okay, on the left hand side is if any jobs available from the employer, so the recruiter that they can assign any talents from the system into that particular job, and then that employer they can see all the recommended talent when it opens their apps. So this is an example of how we record the self-introduction videos of the talents that when the employer, when it first opens the browser, this is what they're going to see. And also the main things about the Project Talents is we provide the talent app as well. So that is for the employer so that they can just easily access all the talents directly from their mobile app. Project Global Identity. So Global Identity is a single sign-on for all the services that are available from MVP Studio, such as the property.community, Project Mars, Project Talents, and some of other projects as well. So this means if you are got one account from one of our services, so that you can be able to use to share that credential to you for all other services provided from MVP Studio. So all the technologies behind the scenes is pretty much the same, but the only things that are different is we're using Identity Server, one of the identity services, that the open source identity services to handle all the tokens and authentications for the multiple across different sites. On the front end that we use React.js and Semantic UI, EX6 and Webpack as well. So this also implements the continuous deployments by utilizing Docker and Kubernetes. So here is an example of the home screen, the easiest and secure way to access talent services. So that is that they can use the services for all the online services from MVP Studio. Another project that I'm going to talk about is Project Billions, which is, I believe that you will get familiar with this Project Billions. So the code name is Billions, but they call May is a remote learning and internship platform. So you can access that by interconnect.io. So if you join Interconnect, so you probably already got the username and password for this. So basically the May is a live conferencing with the industry people. That's how you can connect with all the industry people. So May will schedule all the article has learned from experienced industry people. So they will give you a lot of insights about the markets, about the technologies, about the job hunting process. And then this is also the online learning platform so that you can access all the course materials. You can participate with all the question and answer from the, directly from interconnect.io. So when you join the internship, so this will provide the internship platforms to that you can see what stage you're at during the internship journey. So what tasks that you need to do and what achievements that you need to achieve. So when you finish the internship, so that's everything that you done during the internship that will log into blockchain. So that is, all the certificates will be issued and it will lock permanently into the blockchain. So that is nobody can change it, and this will make it trust more than just the normal certificate. Okay. So this is some of the example of the remote learning and the internship platform. So you already got email address and the password to log in. You can also download the app. So this is basically one of the products from MVP Studio. Another projects that we done is we call Project Dino. So Project Dino is the internal job crawler. It's recently in the stats that people mentioned is about 60 to 70% of the job from job listing website is the fake job. So the reason is it's just maybe you can see the multiple advertisements, but from the recruitment agencies, but it's actually come from only one actual position. Okay, you need to help the job hunter for the better exposure into the job available, into the job vacancy. Most of the time, the job is available through the company career website. So that's the reason why we build the job crawler, that we crawl 1,000 daily jobs every day from the hundreds of the company websites. So every time when the company they create a new job on their career page. So this will fetch directly into our database, and the AI job analysis will analyze and extract all the requirements, and this will introduce into our Industry Connect participant. This is one of the projects that internally done by MVP Studio. So that's pretty much about all the projects from MVP Studios. You may be able to join one of the projects, depends on the availability, but it's all the projects they got all the technologies and all the high demand. It's like all the technology is very high demand in the market. That will make sure when you join the projects, you will get the best from the team. How does the internship enrollment process works? So inside the email, you will expect to have the enrollment link. So inside the enrollment link, you just need to have to click into that link and you will get the enrollment form. So when you see all the enrollment form, so please enter all the details into the enrollment form, including which program are you enrolling in and how many hours and how many days that you think you can commit into the internship. You don't have to be 100% committed into the number of hours and days that you put from the enrollment. So please not anything that can change in the future. Just put the number of hours and the days that you feel comfortable with. And finally, after you submit the form, you will expect another welcome email from the project manager to let you know when you can start the internship. So normally the welcome email will send out within 3 or 4 days. So normally done Monday of the new week. Okay. If you don't receive any welcome email, don't panic. As long as you receive the project enrollment confirmation email, this will make sure that your name already on the system. So you just wait for the project manager to organize the welcome email to send out to everybody. So here is the example of the enrollment form. So if you can see inside the internship enrollment form, you can select which location do you plan to do the internship. So if you plan to do it remotely, select the remotely. And which role are you interested in? So it depends on the programs. If you're choosing the software developer job ready program, you can select the software developer. Or if you select on the business intelligence or be a data analyst, so you can choose the business intelligence or data analyst. And what type of internship are you planning to interested in? So you can choose either if you want to do it full-time, you can do it part-time, or you can do it remotely. And after that is how many days are you available to commit it for the internship, and which project are you interested in? So it depends on availability of the project. So only the available projects is gonna show on the drop-down list. So you may be expect to have the projects that you're interested, but if it's not available on drop-down list, it means it's not available. The MVP Studio is not offering that internship for you. So I wish you all the best, and then we are gonna see you sometime during your internship.